So welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to be talking about all of the different manga that I've bought over the last 2 months, and we're going to do a manga haul. So if you're new here to the channel, we talk all things manga, anime, video games, comic books, so much more. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss another video like this, another manga haul, any of my thoughts on any of the manga if you want to see a more deep dive into any of the manga I'm going to be talking about today. And we're also doing different anime discussions. We just did Jujutsu Kaisen earlier this last week, and we're going to be doing different stuff with like My Hero and One Piece eventually. So yeah, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of these other videos that are going to be coming out. First bit of manga that I got the first 2 volumes of My Hero Academia, and this is a really good story. I actually really like it. If you want to see a deep dive of me explaining, my thoughts on the different arcs in My Hero and, just my overall experience with My Hero, let me know. My wife and I are also watching the anime as well, and so we're really enjoying that. We're far ahead in the anime than we are with just these first 2 volumes. So yeah, we're much further ahead with actually watching the show. But I do want to actually go back and read the manga, and so I picked up the first 2 volumes, and I really enjoyed them. I think I finished volume 1 in like 2 days, and then volume 2 in like 2 days as well. So like, they're just great, lighthearted reads. At least in these initial volumes. Once I get to where I'm at in the anime, I know that it won't necessarily be such a lighthearted read. It's the overall feel and air of the show is great, and so you really capture that on a much deeper core root level in the in the manga. And so yeah, it's just, I'm really enjoying reading that. But again, if you want to see a deep dive getting into spoilers and talking about the show and talking about my favorite characters and stuff like that, let me know. I would really love to hear from you guys of what your thoughts are on My Hero, or if you don't like My Hero, let me know down below why you don't like it or anything like that. So, all right, moving on. We've gotten a few volumes of Jujutsu Kaisen. So Jujutsu Kaisen is an interesting one, and it's an interesting one. So the story is good, and definitely check out last week's video on our thoughts on the anime. The anime, at least at the time of this recording, is 2 seasons in, which is, for the manga readers, is about just right at the end of the Shibuya incident, and so that's basically where we're at in terms of the anime. Now, the manga, as you'll see here, I have volumes 1, volume 11, and 16 and 17. And so what ended up happening is I got volume 1, and then I wanted to get more of the manga, but I had just finished the second season. And when I realized that the second season ends around volume 16, like right in the middle of volume 16, I figured, okay, do I really want to go back to the manga to reread all of the different volumes, or do I just want to jump straight to volume 16 and pick up from right where the anime left off so I can just, pick up from there and just keep reading? So I got volume 16 and 17, and then I realized that the volumes weren't caught up with where the anime is at. The volumes aren't quite caught up in terms of where the current chapter is with the manga. So what I meant by that is that, like, by the time I started reading the manga, I think there was only like volume like 20 out or something like that at the time, and the volume 20 is like 150 chapters behind where we're currently at if you're just reading the individual chapters. And so basically, long story short, I went with 16, 17, read those, and then I really wanted to read more, but I didn't want to like invest my money quite yet in getting all the printed copies. So I went ahead and got the Shonen Jump app, and I just have breezed through and caught up with chapter 262, I think, is out right now. And so I have caught up to where we presently are at. Right now, Gege is taking a break. He's not doing well, or he or she, actually, we don't even know. They are not doing well. And so, hopefully they are recovering and, on the mends there. But yeah, so I am caught up on that, but that's kind of my weird explanation for why I have these kind of volumes all spewing about. And then I have volume 11 that I just got for Father's Day because Nanami's on the cover. That's probably my favorite cover. Nanami is my favorite character in JJK. He is the coolest character. He's awesome. And so I wanted to just get that, just to have that cover. And every time I've gone to Barnes and Noble, that volume specifically was sold out. And so this particular time when I saw it there for Father's Day, I saw there was one copy left, so I just had to get it. So that's the reason why I have volume 1, 11, and 16 and 17. Long explanation that nobody asked for, but again, that's why we're here. And of course, if you want to see a spoiler talk on Jujutsu Kaisen, let me know down below. My video last week was a spoiler-free video to let people know just our thoughts on the anime as a whole and if we recommend it. So if you want to see a spoiler-filled talk on not only where we're at with the anime, but also with the manga, because yeah, at least where we're at now is some crazy stuff. But if you want to see a spoiler-filled discussion, let me know. Moving on from that, we have the Death Note All-in-One edition. And so this is a really cool just collection because it's all 12 volumes of Death Note, but in one giant monster volume. And so that is really cool. I think that's just really, really interesting how that was just done and just all bound together. Who knows how long the binding of the book will actually last, so we'll just have to see. But I did get that specific all-in-one edition, so that way I had the complete series of Death Note, just all in the manga, and we also have the Blu-ray of the anime as well, the complete series. And so yeah, Death Note is just a great anime. The manga, I am sure, is going to be great too. And so, yeah, I haven't gone around to actually reading it quite yet because we just finished a watch through of Death Note like 4 months ago. And so, yeah, that's just kind of, where we're at with that. But moving on from that, I got the first perfect edition of Monster. And Monster is a fascinating, at least my only experience with it has been the anime. Monster is a fascinating anime, and I absolutely love it. And that is a video that I would really love to do a deep dive on, of just talking about my experience with Monster and just reviewing it and just giving a spoiler-free or spoiler-filled discussion if that's what you want. So let me know down below if that's something that you're interested in. But this is a fascinating manga and anime, and it's really good. And so I don't want to explain too much about what it is. It's also been like several years since I've seen the anime, so I'm really looking forward to actually rereading through this. And thankfully, there's only 9 of these perfect edition, is what they call them, volumes. And so, yeah, that's pretty, digestible to be able to pick them up. I pretty much can just pick up one a month, and then by the end of the year, by like March of next year, I'll be able to be to have the complete series in manga. So yeah, that's pretty exciting. I also got the Bleach light novel. So I actually got this for myself, but kind of also for my wife. So she's actually reading through all of Bleach right now. We watched all of Bleach, the anime, and then I have never read the manga myself, so that is something that I would like to do. But something about Bleach specifically, so the way that she's doing it, she's actually reading the manga from the library. And so for me specifically, I have this really weird thing with Bleach, is that I actually just want to just buy the box sets. There's 3 box sets that are out. I just want to buy all 3 of them. It's going to be very expensive and a lot. But that's just how, if I were to read the manga, I would want to buy the manga. And with Bleach specifically, just for like what it's meant to me, it's been like a core aspect of my life since like late middle school, early high school. So yeah, I absolutely love Bleach, and so that's something that I want to like spend money on and get the actual manga. But the reason why I have the light novel is because so for myself, I have not, like I said, read the manga. We have watched the anime, and we've watched the first 2 seasons, or the first 2 parts of the Thousand Year Blood War, and the anime is doing a lot more with that arc than what the manga did with it. And so, from what I gather, the anime is so much more different that it's like, don't even bother reading the manga arc itself, because then it's going to kind of confuse some things with the anime. So it's almost like finish the anime, the arc itself, and then go back and read the manga. At least that's how I've gathered it from the different forums that I've been reading and stuff like that. And so basically she's going to be reading the manga anyways, and so I figured I would just go ahead and get the light novel because it was on sale at the store. Figured she can read it first. Eventually, when I actually get the box sets and I read the manga, then I can read not only this light novel but the other, I think there's two other ones. And so yeah, that's basically where we're at, why I got the light novel. But moving on to the biggest portion of the haul and the current collection of manga that I have, and that is One Piece. And I know that I am not the only one out there that can probably comfortably say that this is the biggest aspect of their manga collection. But One Piece has been a really fun read. So, like I said, with the anime, I watched about 500 episodes of that, which in present day, I think there were around like 1,100 episodes. So that's about just under the halfway mark in the anime. And so I have experienced half of the story that we've had so far. Actually, that's not even really true, because if you take into account filler, all of that, but basically, that's kind of where I'm at with the anime. Now, with the manga, it's actually been really fun and refreshing to reread the manga, because after watching something for 500 episodes, it's like I have a complete, just like, gloss over, like, I don't remember a darn thing from One Piece. I remember all of the characters that were part of Luffy's crew. There were 9 characters, 9 people, crewmates at the time that I was watching the anime. I think Jinbei was the one person that I think he was the most recent person. He was the person that I did not see join the crew. So basically, I've seen everybody else up until that point. And I remember them all meeting and coming along and stuff like that. But I don't remember anything about the story. I don't remember hardly anything about anyone's backstory. And so, yeah, it's just been really refreshing to re-experience One Piece in manga format. It's the very clear story, no filler, straight to the point. And I've been really liking the omnibus editions that I've been getting of these, which basically has 3 volumes in one. And that's been a really good way to digest the story. And, basically I read one of these omnibuses and then I take a break and I read something else and then I come back to another omnibus. And so now I'm up to 4 omnibus. And so I think that means 12 volumes so far. I'll be getting the 5th one soon as well. And so, yeah, it's just been really fun. And I think that this is how I'm going to want to collect One Piece, is in this omnibus format. And so I think we're around like 105 volumes or something like that right now. And so that would basically translate back to like 30 or 35 omnibus edition books. And so that's a lot more doable in my mind to just pick up all of these books, right? And so, versus getting 105 individual chapters. Now, I might not be able to do that with all of the omnibus editions. I'm sure some of them might be sold out, some of them might be out of print, whatever's the case. But it's a lot more doable in my mind to just think of a goal of getting about 35 omnibus editions. Again, maybe getting 1 or 2 a month, then I'll be pretty well caught up. It'll take some time. Obviously, it's a very large story, but I'll be caught up in a reasonable amount of time because, again, I like to read an omnibus, take a break, read something else, come back to the omnibus, come back to another one. And so, yeah, it'll be a good pace for me to do about 1 or 2 omnibus editions. And so that is a series of videos that I really want to do on this channel. And again, if that's something that you're interested in, let me know. But I really want to do a video series going over my thoughts on each of the arcs going on, with these 12 volumes here being all of East Blue. That's a really good arc and a really good way to introduce a lot of our core characters and explain the world that is One Piece. And so, yeah, it's a lot of fun reading through these omnibus editions. But as I get through the different arcs, East Blue, Baroque, all the other stuff that's down the road. It's going to be really fun to be able to experience that with you guys and share my thoughts on them, especially for you guys that are caught up with One Piece and know everything about it. And so, yeah, it's just going to be really fun. So just let me know if that's something that you're interested in. Drop a comment down below. Let me know if there's any anime or manga recommendations that you recommend for me. Based on some of these, you get a pretty good feel of my interest. And then just a quick side note on some of the things that I'm reading on the Shonen Jump app. I am reading Dragon Ball Super. That is interesting, and I will be having a video on that, so stay tuned for that, because I'm reading what happened after the Tournament of Power, which is where the anime stopped, and it's interesting. It's interesting. Interesting in a lot of different ways. But anyways, that's kind of where I'm at with everything. That's really the only thing I'm reading on Shonen Jump right now. I was using a lot of that for Jujutsu Kaisen and Dragon Ball Super, but now that I'm caught up on JJK, that's just like my Dragon Ball Super app. And so once I'm caught up with Dragon Ball Super, then I'll be getting into some other stuff. But that's where I'm at, and I hope that you enjoyed this haul and me going over my overall experience with the different series that I'm getting into. I've started collections of different series, like with My Hero and JJK and One Piece and Monster and stuff like that. And so that's kind of how I like to do different collections of books. I do that a lot with comics, and I like to do that with manga as well. So I'll read something, take a break, read something else. And so that same fashion that I like to do with the One Piece omnibus editions is just my general way of reading things in general. And so, yeah, so I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know how you like these kind of longer videos, just talking about my thoughts on things and sharing my experiences with things. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.